Back. Posted on February 17, 2021 by Charles Sledge. You want to know how to tell if someone is full of it and has an agenda they're pushing on you? A good way to tell is if they start a sentence with "studies say," because here's the thing: studies say whatever the hell the people who paid for the studies or the researchers doing the study want them to say. But there's more to it than that. Most people in the modern world have abdicated their thinking to a series of experts, most that are on payrolls or agenda driven. And hence we end up with all sorts of nonsense that has no bearing in reality. Meat is bad for you, spanking harms a child, you can trust the media, and so on and so forth. Today I want to cover one that's been making the rounds lately and that a lot of people in the self-development community have been falling for. I'll be honest, when I first heard this I thought it was a joke. It wasn't until later that I figured out people meant this literally. Again, I thought, okay, well, only bugmen / soyboy / yuppie / whatever they're called now are going to believe this crap. But then I saw it spreading to mainstream and getting repeated. So I figured it was time to address it. So what is it? What is the lie about willpower that's holding you back? The lie is that willpower is a limited thing, you only have a certain amount of each day. Now there is a grain of truth to this, as in willpower is not an unlimited thing necessarily. And I do agree that when changing habits and breaking addictions, just willing it out is not the best thing to do or most effective way to do it. However, to say that you can't rely on willpower is ridiculous for a number of reasons. The truth about willpower. Now maybe you don't have a conspiratorial type mind like me, which is fine. To me, those with money and power want those under their control as docile and pliable as possible. And one way to do this is to tell those people that they can't rely on or trust their wills. That their will is powerless and not something that can be used. And the best way to convince people of moronic BS is through science. What has been pushed by the priests of the New Age, the researchers / psychologists / media pundits, is that your willpower is a limited thing, that once it runs out it's gone for that day. Now I agree that willpower is limited, and I agree with that part of the research or whatever. What I disagree with is where people take it, what they conclude from it. They conclude that willpower can't be built, can't be increased, can't be pushed, that it can't be relied on because it's finite and scarce, that there's no such thing as the will to power, that everyone is weak-willed, and there's nothing that can be done about it. This just isn't true. Willpower can be built, increased, and used to forge your way in this world and accomplish amazing things. Willpower is incredibly powerful, perhaps the most powerful thing that a man possesses. And for a man to be convinced that he wakes up with a little bit of willpower and every decision that he makes strips of it and can't be won back and pushed further, that is a lie that robs man of his most powerful asset. Now you may say, well, Charles, where's your studies? And I'll say that my studies are life, being a human being, and seeing how that life works. I've grown, pushed, and developed my own willpower as I have seen others do. It's not a finite thing you wake up with a certain amount of, like gas in a gas tank. It's more like a muscle that can be flexed, pushed, and while it has its limits can go much further than you think. Beware the gurus that'd strip your mind. Always be skeptical of everything, especially in the modern world, and especially anything that gets mainstream acceptance. There's always agendas behind everything anymore. Not saying be paranoid or that never trust anything. There are great things being discovered. What I'm saying is just to always question things and never let someone have control over your mind and you. Don't let others laden you down with limiting beliefs that have no basis in reality. No matter how many studies show or experts agree, whenever either one of those phrases is used, you can almost be guaranteed that whatever is being talked about is BS. Maybe you think I'm being too harsh, and maybe I am. All I ask is that you question, including what I say. Don't let your powers and potential be stripped from you. Protect your mind and guard your heart. The experts are not on your side. Money controls everything, and those with money always have an agenda of one sort or another. Don't be a sheep, don't follow things blindly. Again, not saying to live in your cave and never see the light of day. Just always keep your critical thinking skills intact. You'll never not need them.